Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Now, hopefully you've been subscribing and liking the channel and following the videos, because I often refer to older videos. And last time we took a look at the Zoom CDR 70 Plus. Which I discovered was a really cool pedal with a lot of great sounds in it. It just didn't have a looper, so I added a Boss RC5. And I discovered that in my recordings I really enjoyed having drums, even though it was a drum machine. And that's when I discovered a little pedal by Moore called the GL 100. And that's about what it costs, about $100. And it has really great drum sounds and is a stereo looper, right? And here it is, right? I mean, just looking on the box, it says Groove Loop Series. Wow. Alright. 100 slots, so in other words, you can record up to 100 different loops. Right. Play a drum station, auto record, and of course the drums sound really good too. And you can set the tempo and the level and those kinds of things. And it also has a time stretch feature. A play mode and a stop mode. I don't know what the stop mode is. And then a split out if you want it. And then data management if you hook it up to a computer via USB. So we're going to have an unboxing here, kind of. So please don't try this at home. Only trained professionals should attempt. Okay, we get a nice little manual. However, it's in several different languages and it's tiny. I mean, I can't read that without glasses. I kid you not. It's alright, you can go online. But really, it's kind of self-explanatory. Okay. Comes with a 9-volt AC adapter in the box. Very nice. And then the unit itself, which is not in the box. Why not? I'll tell you why. I couldn't help myself. I had to try it right away. Okay. So I have it here hooked up. We can take a look at it. And here it is. Notice it has a touch screen. Right? For example, if I go to the drums or what have you, right, I can hit the screen and it takes me back to the loop. Pretty cool. So it took me about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to figure it out, really. It's quite simple. There, if you want to change the tempo, this activates the drums. And then looping wise, this is record and overdub and stop button over here. And this one, if you hold it down, it can undo and redo a loop. case you mess up or something. And then this is the auto record. Now, as I understand it, the auto record just allows you to, it'll set the tempo for you, I think. Right, and again, I'm going to be using the Zoom CDR70 Plus. Now, while it has no audio interface capabilities for recording to a computer, what it can provide is that it auto saves your loops in the unit. And I found this to be quite cool because once I get my audio interface hooked up, which I haven't bothered to do, then I can re-record all these loops. And here's the thing, I recorded some loops, and I want to go through them with you because they're kind of interesting. I wanted to try out the drums, which are really spectacular for a drum machine, I mean. Okay. Now this was the first loop I did. So that's the first loop I did. You can hear I kind of messed up on the recording. I hit one of the cables or something. But I wanted to try it out and wasn't sure how to use it yet. So I was kind of figuring it out. So you can hear that kind of hiccup, that's my fault. Okay, so that's the first loop and it saved that, right? If I switch to the next one, so this was the second attempt, just trying out different drums and recording the loops, all using the Zoom CDR70 Plus, and here we go. Okay, so I was kind of figuring it out, and seeing that the sound great and everything, and definitely stereo and everything. So then I did another loop, which it saved as well. We can hear it here. What I like about the drums is that while they play a beat over and over again, they actually put in fills and variations and things. Keeps it a little more lively, I guess. You can hear that here. Okay. So I really like the sound quality is great. Stereo sound. So I kept going through, just trying out the different kind of drums that they have. Like here's a blues drums. Let's hear this one. Okay, and then one more. We'll hear that one here. Once you figure it out, it's actually quite simple. In fact, very first thing is you can check out the drum machine patterns, and so you pick a pattern. That's the most basic one, the very first one. Second pattern. Okay, so that's just the pop style, and there are 20 different variations just on that alone. The other thing is, it has a touch screen. The little screen right here, you can touch it and it does stuff. And actually it works really well. I'm quite surprised. And it's tiny, but it works great. So from pop we go to style 2, which is funk. And we go to the very first one. You can hear it. Basically, we can record a loop, just that kind of thing. Okay, so there, I recorded that, and surprisingly, it saves it. Let's say I go back to the loop prior, right? Okay, and here's the loop we just did. So there it is. I mean, wow, that's amazing. And quite simple, really. And I'm quite surprised by the little zoom pedal. It's really actually pretty darn cool. So I guess while I just record the loop, it'll play back the loop, you know. I'm still working on how to record it, you know, on the computer. We could either use microphones and an audio interface, or go direct into the audio interface, the outputs into the audio interface. Not sure yet. Something I need to work out, I guess. I suppose the only criticism I have is that the little box itself is plastic. Right. However, it feels very solid, and I was surprised by the touch screen. That actually does great, you know. I don't think it'll be damaged anytime soon. And yeah, it's quite simple to use, really. Um, and the drums are just great, for a drum machine. So, do I regret getting the GL100 by Moore? No way. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. And granted, you can't, record the loops into your computer via USB, unfortunately. But quite frankly, it's quite fun just to sit around and try the different loops and listen to what you recorded. So quite a surprise, really, at how good it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like the Boss RC5, though the drum machines here are superior for sure. And there's one annoyance with the RC5 is that without a foot switch, external foot switch, that it has to play back part of the loop before it erases it. That's not the case here. And I think sound quality wise it's fine. Stereo sound. Very cool. So, once I get the recording part figured out, well, you could make a whole album easily. I mean, here I've got 6 tracks, right, or 6 loops, if you like, and I kind of botched the first one. It's a shame because it's a cool loop. It was this one. Anyway, I wouldn't put that one on the album. Or maybe not even this one. But there is just trying out the different kinds of drums. Yeah. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Real test. If I unplug it, it'll turn off, right? But will it save the loops or no? Because I never really save them, it just auto-saved them. Alright, let's find out. Here we go. I'm gonna turn it off. Boom, it's off. Alright, let's see if it saves the loops, which could be really handy if it did. Okay, it's turning on. Okay. Alright, let's find out. Wow. That's a real game changer there. The fact that you can just basically put it in your pocket and have all these loops that you did, right, to record later, I guess, and a lot of my tracks on CDs and things are basically loops. And you can play over the loops if you wanted to add additional parts and things. Very cool, and highly recommended. And I don't feel gypped. You know, that's the worst thing, man, when you buy a pedal and you get it and it's like terrible. You're like, man, I got ripped. But here, that's not the case. It's exactly what it said it would do, and I'm quite impressed with the drums. Remember, this is $100. The fact that you can store 100 loops in there, and for me that means 100 tracks that could potentially go on a CD, I think is really cool, you know. Now, do I wish I had an audio interface built in? Of course I do. But, you know, it never said that or advertised that it had that feature, and this, you know, wouldn't expect it in this kind of pedal. But yeah, it's so simple to use as far as recording, overdubbing, and those kinds of things. And I'm sure there are features that I haven't even figured out yet or haven't even messed with. You know, like the auto record. I don't know. I just leave it on. It seems fine. Anyway, very cool. Highly recommended. Man, it's as simple to use as a ditto looper, really, but it does more. It has that nice touch screen and things, which is really cool too, you know. Quick way to change tempo or change the drums and those kinds of things. So that's the Moore GL100 stereo looper with stereo drums, and man, there's a ton of drums in there. I think every style has at least 15, 20 different variations. You know, that's a ton of different styles you can use, or different drum beats anyway. You know, now some are cooler than others, of course. And I mean, I've gone through just a couple of them, really. There's plenty more. Yeah, highly recommended. A very cool little pedal for $100. As is the Zoom, which I think was about $100 as well. So for $200, you can get quite a nice setup. Okay, very good. I'll see you next time.